Glenorchy. If they're going to win this game, they have to nullify 4 or 5 of the big Clarence players.
No question whatsoever. Clarence, of course, finished second, but came good come the finals, so they were the first through to the granny. We'll take a look now at the Glenorchy side. The Magpies were the minor premiers, Brent. They've only lost to one team this season. It is Clarence. What do you make of the Maggies?
Yeah, looking forward to seeing what they can bring to the table because, as you said, Gilly, they've been tested those last couple of games, but obviously the form team of the competition winning that minor premiership and got the win over Clarence in those first couple of games to start the season too, Brownie. So it's going to be interesting if you're running a market on this game, who would actually start the favourite? Yeah, well, look, the history tells you between these two teams, 4 or 5 goals will probably get you the win today. The average winning margin is about 15 points, so goals will be at a premium today. It wasn't a high-scoring game, was it, Gilly, in the Mercury Cup? But just touching on Glenorchy for a little bit, a couple of the key players there. The girls are named in the on-ball division there. The Barwick girls, the Cousins, they'll link up. They will obviously be the connectors for Glenorchy today. They're really good off the ground level and hard ball get, so they'll make a real difference in the midfield. The key forward is Lynch. She's a goal-kicking queen, isn't she? Played a 100th game recently. Excuse me, the leading goal kicker in the competition's had a terrific season. Sarah Skinner's another one who's had a terrific season as well. We expect her to deliver to our midfielders with silver service today, so something the Roos will really have to watch out for.
Yeah, no question about it. Sandy Eaton, another one, dominated grand final day last year. We've also got a special treat today for grand final day. We've got Anthony Osborne down on the boundary. Anthony, it's been pouring down this morning. What are conditions like down there at ground level now?
Off at the moment, certainly a little cool down here at ground level with a bit of a breeze picking up, but at the moment no rain to speak of. Certainly a wet deck after quite a bit of rain this morning, so I'll have to see how that affects the season, because obviously throughout the year so far we actually haven't had too many wet weather games of football. During the week, Clarence and Glenorchy both said that they've actually played each other once before in the wet, and it was certainly a tight tussle, and with two really strong midfield groups you'd think that'll be where it's won and lost today.
Speaking of the ground too, boys, we look at where these two teams have played this year, Blunston Arena, KG5, Gilston Bay, and what does that mean coming to a neutral venue here today?
Well, it's a wide expanses, isn't it, of UTAS Stadium? It seems to undo a lot of teams. It's going to ask a lot of questions of both sides, I think, today. It's going to be really fascinating how it plays out because, as you say, Brent, used to smaller grounds, and maybe they'll have to adapt their game style just a touch, Brandy.
Yeah, you'd think so, and Glenorchy would have had plenty of time over the last couple of weeks to plan for this game. Clarence winning the minor final between the two teams, and they probably dominated that one, boys. It was, I think, 15 scoring shots to 6 from memory, 3-12 to 1-5, and Smith and Pennicott really got hold of them on that occasion. So certainly you would think, we mentioned at the start, goals are a premium. You would think the team that gets on top early can go on and win this game, but really looking forward to it, boys.
It's a big stage, Breno. We saw last year a few players out of the grand final actually kick on and play in the AFLW, one namely Courtney Webb, who collected the medal on that occasion. Any prospects out of this one that you think could put their hand up with a big performance today?
Well, the big one's Maddie Smith, obviously already signed with North Melbourne, the skipper of the Roos, but a few others as well. Sarah Skinner, she might be one to watch. She plays for Glenorchy, obviously, was in the team of the year as well, so keep your eye on her this afternoon in this big one. I reckon she's definitely a prospect for the AFLW moving forward.
Another one is Loveth Ochai, of course, who remains on the radar of many AFLW clubs after really impressing at the Combine. We've got some formalities now, Brent. So the two teams will come across. We'll have a moment's silence for the tragic passing of Paul Reynolds, a fine contributor to Northern football.
Yeah, great to see the teams wearing their black armbands too today in honour of Paul, who, as you said, Gilly, was a massive part of not just Northern footy but Tasmanian footy as well, chairman of the Tasmanian Football Council. So very sad to hear that news come through yesterday.
So the two teams will line up. Ground looking interesting today, Breno. Sort of like a ground you'd expect to sort of see in Queensland.
Yeah, look, you see that in the Neefle a bit, don't you? We were here a couple of weeks ago, and the ground looked fine. And to be fair, it looks like it's held up pretty well from the wet weather this morning, but the look of it, lots of yellow patches, which you don't normally see here. They regard this as one of the best surfaces in the country, obviously, here at UTAS Stadium.
So the two teams will line up for a moment's silence. The two teams line up. We've had the national anthem. Now we get ready for a big contest. The Wrest Point TSLW Grand Final here at UTAS Stadium. The big stage, the two best teams all year, ready to lock horns.
Yeah, it's a big day for the coaches too, isn't it? Brent Grace, a former underage player at Glenorchy as well, had a really distinguished career at OHA in the Old Scholar, so he's been assisted by the former Glenorchy player and Peter Barwick, and also Andy Smith as coaches Clarence, so we wish them all the very best this afternoon.
Run us through some of the changes to the game here, Gilly, because we know the ladies have two less players on the field, shorter quarters.
18-minute quarters, yep, correct. So they're the main ones, and of course the ball size, size 4, so a bit smaller. But outside of that, it's good hard footy, isn't it, Brent? So it's going to be, I think it's going to be hot in the kitchen today. It's going to be a really, really tough, combative style between these two teams. But when they get open up, they've both got some good outside talent that can make them pay.
Just seen the coin toss take place, and Maddie Smith's won that, and Clarence to kick to the right of screen to get this one underway.
And we might just cross back down to Anthony Osborne on the boundary. Just a little update for us, Aussie. How is it looking down there?
Yeah, Gilly, certainly, as I said earlier, a little wet underfoot. There's quite a big puddle, actually, a half-forward flank down at the far end of the ground, so have to keep an eye on that as the day progresses. But really good crowd starting to build in. These two teams, as you mentioned before, two form teams all season, so huge occasion for them, and the two groups certainly seem pretty positive when they run out to the middle, and you can hear a few laughs coming from both camps as well. So these two sides are ready to roll, and at the moment with the rain staying away, we should be in for a contest.
How's the wind down there, Aussie? Because we saw Maddie Smith choose to kick to the right there. Looking at the sort of quarter windsock that's up there on the top of the stand, looks like it is blowing a little bit that way.
Yeah, it certainly is blowing a little bit that way. I'll have to see early on just how far that wind, just how much of a role that wind does play. It probably was a little bit heavier 5 minutes ago, a bit stronger 5 minutes ago, to be honest with you, Brent. So I'll have to monitor that as the day goes on, and with probably expected a bit of rain later on in the day as well. So we'll just have to see how that affects the rest of this contest.
Nicely done down there, Anthony Osborne. We'll check in with you throughout the game as the two teams make their way to their positions. Looks like Clarence might be operating with a loose off the back of the square. Brownie, what do you make of that?
Yeah, I guess both coaches will probably just want to try and get the game on their terms, and probably getting possession, holding the footy, trying to spot up targets. So that's probably the reason why we see both teams as one behind the back of the centre square at the moment.
So Wells and Sullivan in the middle to lock horns and duke it out. The 2018 Grand Final. And we're underway. Up they go. One down by Wells. Scrimmaged out. Going nowhere fast. Pennicott gets it. Wrapped up. You rinse and repeat in the middle of UTAS Stadium. So up again. Over the top. Falls to ground level. They'll just work it out through hands through Barwick. Comes on the outside. It's ping-ponged around from Manjerovic. Wrapping up was Wells. Oh, sorry, not Wells. Underneath all that. And it'll be another stoppage. Underneath all that was Pennicott. We'll go again. Sullivan almost. Slapping was Wells. Diving in was Allen. And again, it's worked out by Archer. On the boot and bouncing away. Picked up by Heggie. Going nowhere fast. They just slip it out the back, Glenorchy. And away now. Blocked ball. Still in the centre square. This is a high contested start to this contest. This will be a stoppage.
Yeah, Barwick with a couple of early touches too there for Glenorchy boys. Really slick handball as well from Sullivan.
Well, up it goes again. See Wells in the ruck there for the Roos as Glenorchy try to win it out of the centre here. Little toe poke off the ground. And again, kicked off the ground inside 50 for the first time this match. Achai picks it up and Smith trying to get boot to ball. Ends up in the hands of Gemma Terry, who kicks it inside, top of the square. Players dive onto the footy. And now umpire's blowing the whistle here. And looks like it was a throw. So free kick going the way of the Roos. So Glenorchy looked like they were on there for a moment.
There's the throw,
There's
pretty
a big
blatant.
Throw. Yep, absolutely. So Clarence to bring it out of defence. And now Achai's there. Can't quite scoop it up. It's towards that big puddle that Anthony Osborne mentioned in the pre-game. And a boundary throw-in. So we saw a few of the Clarence girls at the Campbelltown Bakery on the way up this morning and looking fairly relaxed, which is good to see. As we said off the top, it's been a tight contest between these two clubs this year as we tried to see Georgia Pennicott run away with it there. Just mishandled it, and a nice mark taken there by Tarn Ford. She pumps it up the line, right on the wing. Bouncing footy. Clarence have the numbers. Nice pick up there. And it's inside 50, but straight down the throat of the Glenorchy player. And it's marked by Jade Williams.
Yeah, she's had a terrific season, Jade Williams, first-year player, lockdown defender.
So Williams' kick, it's gone straight to the opposition. Tarn Ford takes a nice mark. She pops it back inside 50, and the mark taken by the Roos. And this might be the first scoring opportunity of the afternoon. And the player to take the kick is Jacinta Limbrick.
Yeah, well, she's had an outstanding season, hasn't she? 24 goals.
She's been a good player for a long time, Brownie.
She has second on the goal-kicking list this season. We'll take her best from here.
So Jacinta Limbrick lining up for the first score of the afternoon. It goes right to the
Tell you
line.
what.
Looks pretty good too off the boot. Clarence get the first of the afternoon. They're off to a flying start here in the TSLW Grand Final.
Yeah, we mentioned goals at premium today in finals. We traditionally, no matter what a level you get, it's normally low-scoring, dour affairs. So early goals are really important. Get the ball in the hands of your best players. And Limbrick calmly slotted that one. Beautiful kick for goal.
Fantastic start. Just what Clarence would have been after. The first real movement forward. We'll have a look at it again. Great kick. Got the journey. Knew she had it in her. Probably had another 5 metres. So wonderful kick from Limbrick. Quality players. We're back in the middle. A runaway. Wells tries to pick it up. There's a whistle. And it'll go back. Go back to Brianna Barwick. She sees something she likes and hits up nicely. They're off to the races through Sutcliffe. Looks long into the square. Bouncing ball. Will it get through? It does. The immediate response from the black and white.
Well, that was terrific play, wasn't it? I really liked the intention of Barwick, who took the mark, went on, played on quickly. And Sutcliffe, a first-year player from the SFL boys, named in the Team of the Year. And a really smart kick, wasn't it?
Tremendous
Absolutely.
kick.
Very smart to play on so quickly too. Left her opponent in a wake and went bang. So,
Well, she's a goal kicker, boys. That's her 17th goal for the season. So averaging a goal a game. Great start for her personally.
another one that's set to attract the attention of AFLW recruiters as well as we restart in the middle. Nice start to this game. 1 goal apiece, 5 minutes in. Said goals will be a premium in this one, Brownie. Well, we've got 2 very quick ones, which is fantastic. Up it goes again. And it's collected out the back by Bresnahan, and now the Roos push it forward again. No one could take the mark on that occasion. Picked up nicely though by Hannah Smith, who pops it out to the wing. Bouncing footy now. Player running onto it for Glenorchy. They pump it up the line. Bouncing ball now. Achai's there for Clarence. Can she do anything with it? She just managed to get a hand to it. Not going too far. Player wrapped up in the tackle was Skinner for Glenorchy, and will have a ball up.
It's a good tackle there from Rachel Archer. Really strong tackling early in this one.
Up it goes again. Nice tap down, but straight to the advantage of the opposition. Glenorchy has it back inside their attacking 50. Little tunnel ball out. Here's Skinner now. Can she get boot to ball? Just, but doesn't go too far, and eventually out of bounds boundary throw in.
They've been really busy so far, Brianna Barwick. Wondering if she's the daughter of Peter Barwick, who wore number 22 for Glenorchy. He was a terrific player in the old statewide league days.
So comes in again, Ochai over the top. The experienced campaigner Lynch. They'll try and farm it out. Work it out of defence here, Clarence. Turn forward the target. Nicely done. She's had a hot start. Looks out onto the wing. Plenty of space there for Limbrick to run into. Unfortunately, too much on the kick, and it runs out of play.
Yeah, look, really nice delivery there from Chloe Wells coming out of the back half.
So the ball will be thrown in again. A hot start here at UTAS Stadium. 1 goal apiece between these two arch rivals. Comes in. It was almost caught by Sullivan. Lost the footy. Thrown on the boot.
Great
Moving
mark
forward. There's a great mark by Daniels. Really good user by foot. Watch it right here, Cam Brown. Kicks long. Almost taken there by Tate Turvey. Socket away. It's still up for grabs here. Coming in was Smith from the side. I thought she was just going to interrupt that one. It's Scott who tries to tumble it forward.
Great
in
tackle.
Trouble was Searley. In all sorts, in fact, holding the footy. It was a really good tackle there by Scott.
Ooh.
She sees something she likes, and might have been the goal. It's bouncing onward though, and Minifee tries to make something of it. Out it goes.
It's a great tackle from Hannah Scott. She's another one who's had a great year, boys. Can go forward and kick goals.
Yeah, look at that. Searley just probably didn't know, didn't hear the footsteps, and in came Scott and took her down. So ball will be thrown in again. Comes long, a deep throw. It was off the hands of Pennicott. She'll try and farm this one out to Smith. Interrupted by Tomasa Corey. Out it goes.
Encouraged.
It's collected nicely by Bresnahan. Does she have the distance here, Brownie?
No, I think she'll look to spot it up.
You're a smart man. She looks in the Smith direction. Bundled out of it by Daniels. She might be in trouble here, Smith. Still down. Clarence not happy. Tomasa Corey on hands and knees trying to farm out the ball. It'll be a ball up. She's got back to her feet.
Well, she copped a heavy hit.
Bang! Look at that. She's back up though and okay. Down from Searley. Bresnahan tries to manufacture a shot. It was just dropped by Skinner. Thrown on the boot. Out to the right from Sophie Pennicott. A minor score. The Roos regain a lead. Quick to get going here, Brent Costelloe.
They are indeed. Hot start to this one, and that one just falls to nobody in particular. Picked up though by Archer. And now can they get it inside 50 again? The Roos, they do indeed. Goes to the top of the square. Nice mark though taken by Daniels. Big kick back outside. Defensive 50. And nice mark again by Glenorchy. So
Miss Manjerovic.
Great kick.
good mark too taken by Allen. And she pops it to the wing.
It's good use here.
Brianna Barwick takes it. Oh, that's straight to the player on the mark though. And Barwick does well though, but she's done well to keep it inside. She has. And now Allen goes in direction of her teammate, but it's mopped up by Bresnahan. She puts it along now and goes to the pack of players. Glenorchy win it out again. Umpire says play on, not for too long though. Eventually be a whistle blown for a ball up.
You can already see Natalie Daniels, Silky as they call her, the left footer off half back. She's a terrific reader of the play, guys.
Up it goes again. Tap down, and Clarence win it out again of the stoppage. Oh, good mark running back with the flight there was Jade Williams.
She's been good, Jade Williams, already.
She puts it inside the centre square, and Magpies do well again. It's Skinner now, who's been pretty busy early in this game.
Absolutely.
Mark taken out there by Manjerovic. And again, Glenorchy do well here, just chipping it forward. And
Sandy Eaton.
Sandy Eaton, what a veteran she is of Tasmanian football. Great to see her out there today. She gets it inside 50. Mark taken, and Glenorchy will go back and have another shot on goal. And this time,
Sutcliffe again. She likes to hurry on.
she's gone to the top of the square. Unfortunately, not her best work because it was taken by Achai, but out of the pack. Glenorchy have a snap. The bouncing ball goes across the face and through for a behind. That was unlucky there.
Might even be thrown in here, Bruno.
Okay, out of bounds. So didn't quite get through for that minor score.
The quick play on work for Sutcliffe last time. Not quite on that occasion.
And it comes back again. Nieta Lynch, she's been in the headlines recently. We'll play and relive the rivalry this year, which is fantastic to see. Kath Johnson there for the Roos. Anyone win it out here in Glenorchy's attacking zone? Danger spot for the Roos, obviously, but the umpire will ball it up again. So 7 plays 6. Clarence lead it by 1 point. Achai comes through. Big punch out of the ruck. Good to see. As we said earlier, AFLW recruiters with an eye on her, obviously. Bouncing ball out the back. Good tackle there from Elliston.
We mentioned Achai. You just saw the athleticism from her then in that vertical jump. She'll play in that back half today, but really reads the play well.
So up they go again. One by Wells, going nowhere. Limbrick trying to farm it out. Bustling in was Nat Heggie. Comes out eventually. Sutcliffe trying to find a teammate. There's a whistle. One just caught a piece of Barwick. Yep.
It was played by the non-officiating umpire on that particular occasion.
So Barwick's been busy. That's not her best. A worm-burning kick forward. Thrown on the boot by Scott. Going back for the Roos. Corrie will mop this one up with a little bit of help from Barwick. Thrown on the boot. Cut off. Barwick will have another crack at it. Slips as she looks to farm it out. Picked up by Scott. Bit sloppy back there. Powered forward now. A good contest here. Lynch and Ochai. Lynch comes on in. Trying to find Skinner. She's underneath all sorts of pressure. It'll be a ball up.
We mentioned it, Gilly. Lynch on Ochai. That's a fantastic matchup. Lynch, 35 goals this year.
A tremendous player, no question. Real veteran of Tasmanian women's footy. That's thrown on the boot by Skinner. Will it stay in? Looking in the Eaton direction. It'll be thrown back in.
A good start for Skinner. Of course, played for Burnie last year. Another Team of the Year member.
So there's 1 point the difference here. Closing stages of this first term. Ochai butters up, finds Smith. A shimmy and a shake. Throws it on the right boot. Out onto a vacant wing. Running in is Minifee. And she gets a little bit of support there from Pennicott. The ball runs out of play.
It was a good clearing kick from Smith on that occasion. Really got it out of the danger period, or danger area for Clarence.
So, just the 1 point the difference. Conditions not too bad for footy. The rain is cleared. The ball thrown in once more. Over the top was Sullivan. Tapped down, Limbrick again. No, sorry, it was Pennicott. There's a hot footy. Numbers around the ball from both teams. They'll wrap them up. It was Pennicott of the Georgia variety doing the tackling. Screeches that Glenorchy ball movement to a halt. Up it goes again. Sullivan and Wells out the back. Bresnahan looking in the Heggie direction.
Great handball.
Cut off. It was a great handball. I'll look forward now with purpose, Glenorchy. And Eaton's the target. One grab, two grab, almost. Through the legs. Allen couldn't quite grab it. Corrie can. Powers inside 50 now, Corrie. Bouncing in the Lynch direction. Cutting off nicely. Getting back to defend was Johnson. Finds Ochai. She'll find a target. Just overshot it for Bresnahan. Farmed out now by Sutcliffe. It's picked up, racing away, thrown on the boot. It doesn't quite get the journey at all. Butters up though, and it's good defensive work by Elise Barwick, and she'll get just rewards.
Well, that was great second effort. She could have easily kicked a banana on her right foot, but was predictable to her teammates and still tried on the left foot. Wasn't her best kick, but her effort to get to the next contest was fantastic.
So Elise Barwick.
She's had a very good year, boys. 9 times in the best players this year from 15 games.
Bit of a staggered approach here. Doesn't look real confident. Off the right. She should have been confident because that's a wonderful kick. And that is the Magpies' second. They take the lead for the first time here today at UTAS Stadium.
Yeah, that was terrific individual play for her, wasn't it? And finished off with a goal, which she's already kicked 4 goals this season, so she knows how to get on the scoreboard, and that's a vital goal coming into a couple of minutes before the end of this first quarter.
Tremendous start. Could go either way this game. Well and truly up for grabs, Brent.
Is indeed. Really enjoyed this one so far as we get underway in the middle again. Clarence try to win it out now. They push it forward. Good mark taken. They work it forward quickly here. The Roos, a bouncing ball. This is really opened up here out the back, and they get boots of balls. Well done by the Glenorchy defence, but off the ground, Limbrick gets her second in the afternoon, and Clarence with a quick reply.
Yeah, she's going to be a handful, I think, today for the Glenorchy defenders. And it was really smart work in the middle of the ground, just in the clearance from the Clarence player to set that up. I think it might have been Heggie with a, just had a presence of mind to find a teammate to get that centre clearance, and in the end, a great running goal. So we've got 2 now, Limbrick. She's going to be a real concern, I would have thought, for Glenorchy.
It's been a funny old ball game, Breno. We've seen, 17 and a half minutes gone, and the 4 goals have come virtually in 2 minutes of it. So back in the middle again. Juggling effort. Bustling in was Manjerovic.
Oh, great attack.
Nice
Coming
work
through was Bresnahan. Great attack, as you said, Brownie. Picks it up. Finds a target in forward. Inside 50 now. Limbrick, she's been a problem. She's been a real handful, but Daniels did well. Unfortunately, it was thrown to her. So Williams, who's been pretty good, found Daniels, but unfortunately threw a throw. And Clarence can really land a sucker punch here through Sophie Pennicott. The siren. So Sophie Pennicott to take her kick after the siren. The Roos 1 point up.
Yeah, that forward entry was set up by Nicole Bresnahan. Hasn't had a lot of the ball in the first quarter, but gee, what she's done has been really classy. Knows the way around a football ground by hand and foot. Really liked her work.
So Sophie Pennicott, in she comes. Right boot, will she get the journey? Through for a minor score. 1 behind, so it might be one of those games where every point counts, so that may be helpful as we get into the dying stages of this game. It is an arm wrestle here at UTAS Stadium. Clarence 2-2-14, Glenorchy 2 straight 12.
Hot start, wasn't it? Really enjoyed that opening term, boys. 4 goals kicked as we saw. 6 scoring shots on goal, but really enjoyed it, Brent.
I like the intent of both teams to get the ball moving their way, and a lot of it must have been instructions from the coaches Craig Grace and Andy Smith respectively for Glenorchy and Clarence, because it was play on at all costs, and they were willing to take the game on, get some early inside forward 50 entries, wheel and go, give their forwards a chance, 1 out, and I really enjoyed it. The other aspect I thought was terrific, Gilly, was the defensive pressure of both sides, and that's all important, I would have thought, in a grand final, obviously, where there's no second chances. But I really like the work of Limbrick. She's going to be a handful, you would think, for Clarence. I mentioned Bresnahan earlier. I thought she did some terrific work by hand and foot. Pennicott bobbed up on a few occasions as well. So a lot to like about Clarence when they do go forward. I thought Barwick had a terrific first quarter. Brianna Barwick for Glenorchy, boys. Thought she was just about best on the ground.
She's leading the disposals, Brownie. 8 disposals to quarter time, 2 tackles. We've got a few others here too. Nicole Bresnahan leading the disposals for Clarence with 7. Obviously Limbrick with those 2 goals, and Tiana Ford 4 disposals, 2 inside 50s. And
one rebound 50 as well.
Absolutely, and Sutcliffe 2 4 disposals for Glenorchy. The hit-outs, Clarence led that 4-3. Inside 50s in Clarence's favour as well, 7-5, and the free kicks are 3-2 in favour of the Magpies.
Yeah, no, look, if you go back to Glenorchy's goals too, boys, Sutcliffe, that was an excellent goal from her. She just quickly bounced up from the mark, played on, and it rolled on through for a goal. And Elise Barwick, I love the follow-up tackle from her. She ran onto the oncoming ball with the left foot. Wasn't her best kick, but just got in and made a brilliant tackle inside 50. We know how the forward line, we know how AFL footy is played now, Damo, with just that inside forward 50 pressure and the ability to lock it into your forward line until you score time in forward half. So the coaches would love that. So a great finish from Barwick there for the second goal for Glenorchy. And you mentioned Bresnahan. She gets under the guard, I think, boys. She's probably had as many handballs as kicks, but she's a really effective ball user for mine. So really like the work of both her and Barwick in the first quarter.
So we might just cross down to Anthony Osborne, who's down at ground level. How'd you see the first term, Anthony?
G'day, guys. Yeah, fantastic contest to start. Obviously, that little period there, Clarence getting a quick reply has put them in with a lead at quarter time. Some slight injury concerns, though, for the Roos. Maddie Smith, we saw her go down after that big tackle throughout that quarter. She's actually still sitting on the interchange bench, getting quite a bit of attention to her shoulder. Hasn't actually stepped out of the interchange bench for essentially first couple of minutes leading into quarter time, and has spent the rest of her time there as well. Darcy Elliston as well looks to have an ice pack to her nose, so I'm not too sure if she's copped a high knock at some point in that opening term as well. But a couple of injury concerns there for the Roos. Glenorchy, on the other hand, look to be with a clean bill of health at the moment, and Maddie Smith, we all know how important of a player she is, so that'll be something I'll keep a close eye on for you as the second term gets underway.
Looking very nice too.
Yeah,
TV time for you.
You're on. Yeah, just look and smile. There you are, mate. You're happy with your own work. See if you can grab us someone out of the huddle.
Will do, mate. I'll see what I can do.
So, Brownie, who do you like from here? Obviously, we said it was a bit of a toss of the coin coming into today's contest. It seems to be the case as we sit here, just 2 points the difference at quarter time.
Gee, there's not going to be a lot in it, you wouldn't have thought, and history tells that they've played each other 5 times, and what's it been, 3 to Glenorchy, and Clarence have won the last 2. I'm just going to go the Roos in a close one, boys. I expect this to be under 10 points, so which is what we want, isn't it, from a grand final. But gee, I was impressed with the intensity in that game right from the word go, and a couple other players that I thought were pretty handy for Glenorchy in the back half. I like the work of Jade Williams, the first-year player. She uses the ball, on both sides of her body really, really well, and matches up on her opponent. And we just saw some of the work of Daniel. So her ability to read the play off half-back was really important.
Yeah, so just 2 points in it as spectators scatter off the ground, and Anthony Osborne's down there just lurking around the huddle of Glenorchy. We'll see if he can get us something.
Bit of pressure on him. It's his first time.
There's a lot of pressure on him. Look, he could be right in the middle of the huddle here.
He's lurking.
Oh, he's loving this. It's been a fantastic start to grand final day here at UTAS Stadium. Rain earlier on, but it has cleared up, of course, following this big one. The Wrest Point TSLW grand final at the moment. Following that, the Bupa TSL grand final. We'll have it all live on TSL Facebook and AFL Tasmania YouTube. Anthony, you look like you might have someone for a quick chat.
I do, guys. I've got injured Glenorchy star Janelle Rattenbury down here with me. Obviously disappointed you're not out there today, Janelle, but good start for the girls today.
I reckon it's a great start from the girls today, definitely implementing the skills and all the drills that we've been putting in at training, but so far so good, so hopefully we keep continuing it and get a win.
Good rivalry being built up between Glenorchy and Clarence throughout this season in recent times as well. Is it a game that naturally you get yourself up for if you are playing against the Roos?
It's definitely a great rivalry match, but we use that to go in hard and go hard at the ball and implement those skills once again.
And experience from the grand final last year obviously going to help the girls out there today?
I think the experience is there, definitely trying to remain calm and just play how we usually have during the season. So.
Thanks, Janelle. Best of luck to the girls today.
Thank you.
Some of you better work there, Osborne. Make sure Janelle doesn't take off with the mic. And we're back in the middle for the start of the second term. Glenorchy and Clarence, just 2 points the difference. Just Anthony Osborne really lapping up some camera time on today's coverage. So back underway in the middle again. This time it was Ryan, won the hit out. Limbrick, she had a hot start, 2 goals in the first term. Tries to gather, scampers it out the back. It's nicely picked up by Pennicott. Kicks out into the vacant space. Running onto it was Sophie Pennicott. She's wrapped up. She's got a bit of a problem now. Has support and forward though, and Pennicott does well. Goes back to her namesake. Bouncing ball. Clarence with the territory early in this second term. It's Scott who's wrapped up in the tackle.
A couple of early touches this quarter for Georgia Pennicott. It's a
Sorry.
bag of 5 this year.
Ryan now. Not her best hit out, but had a bit of support in Terry. They just soccer it forward. Glenorchy out the back. Scott does okay. Doesn't get it away though. Is blocked by Archer. Smith should reel this one in. Gathers a footy. Off the left peg. Bustling through was Heggie. Corrie the other direction. Hands it off for Daniels. Doesn't quite meet up. There's a whistle though. It'll come back.
Didn't see what the kick was for, but
No.
Damon Marsh, strong as always with his signals. He spotted something.
Experienced umpire. Forward now. Powers forward. That's a good looking kick. Not quite brought in by Elliston. They'll farm it out. Maddie Smith the target, and why not? What a star.
Oh.
Kicks it nicely. Looking in the Limbrick direction. Doesn't gather. Speeding through was Bresnahan. Delightful. Clarence extend their lead.
The vice captain, we mentioned her, didn't we, in the first quarter, for someone that just stood out because of her ball use, and really terrific play coming out of Nicole Bresnahan, the vice captain of that famous Corpus Christi factory. Damo, Grace Mitchell's another one out there today for Clarence from that school.
Some of the better humans just roll through those corridors, Brent. You wouldn't know, unfortunately.
No, I wouldn't. Gee, that was a nice piece of play. They dodged the tackle really well there. Nicole Bresnahan, just to give a team some breathing space as we restart again in the middle. Glenorchy need a response here after Clarence race out of the blocks here in the second term. Ball finds its way just outside the centre square. Achey does well, picks it up very nicely, and Clarence go forward again. The kick was smothered. Achey tries to get it back. Umpire didn't pay the mark, and Glenorchy now turn it over. Bouncing ball, it's all Clarence though, and there to collect is Rachel Long.
Great
Handballs over the top. And now it's straight down the throat of Glenorchy though. Good mark taken by Skinner, who was very lively in that first term. She gets it inside 50. Bouncing ball again. Clarence, but they get it out. Glenorchy though, wheel around. Clarence do well again though. Smith out of defence. Kick will make its way towards the boundary. You'd think so. That's what the cries are for, and it is. So Glenorchy will get the kick now through Elise Barwick, who jagged that goal in the opening term.
She had a terrific season too. 9 times she's been in the best players this year.
Puts it right to the paint of 50. Smith is there. She goes in hard for the footy. Out the back though, the Magpies paddle it forward.
Great tackle.
Ochai's in there again. She's right down there with the footy. Umpire will ball this one up.
Gee, I love the last couple of minutes from Glenorchy. I was just worried Pennicott started to get her hands on the footy. Smith as well, and thought the Glenorchy midfield need to respond, and they have here.
Ochai in the ruck and bangs it down again. The ball goes to ground. Umpire will ball this one up once more. So Clarence with an 8-point lead, 4 minutes into this second term. TSLW Grand Final of 2018. Two arch rivals going head-to-head after a pretty even season. So all eyes on this one this afternoon to see who gets bragging rights for 2018. And now Skinner again. Another inside 50 for the Magpies. They don't make these count though. The Roos do well in defence. That's a big tackle, and she's been pinged for holding the footy. So Glenorchy will get the shot on goal.
Oh, did you see that? Went down quite easily, Brownie. Lucky it wasn't pinged. Sometimes you see those frees given.
So Sandy Eaton has the kick. Veteran of this side, of course. Tight angle, so She tries to wheel around, but unfortunately that's missed a lot and out of bounds on the full.
She's a legend, isn't she? Sandy Eaton, play over 100 games. She loves the big stage. She would have loved to have kicked that goal on that occasion. I thought Hannah Scott may have been better off just taking it out of bounds there, boys. But in the end, just turned back into trouble. And it was a smart tackle from Eaton.
So Limbrick to bring it back into play. Doing some fine work at the other end. She has a target all on her own. And it's Johnson.
And she's the general in the back half.
General Johnson moves it out. Not her best kick, but not a great grab either. Barwick coughs it up. Forward comes in, soccering it along. And I think it'll be thrown on in.
You can see why Elise Barwick's made that team of the year, Brent. She's really lively.
She certainly caught your eye this afternoon, Brownie, and absolutely, she's been on fire.
So 8 points to difference here at UTAS Stadium. A shallow throw. It's gathered nicely. Farmed out almost for Tate Turvey. She'll come back in. Does okay. Throws it on the boot. Looking at the Lynch. Direction Eaton out the back. Glenorchy out another. And the seesaw continues.
That was terrific, wasn't it? They just willed it forward. And a great response for them. Gee, we've got a great game, boys.
Isn't it? It's exciting. That's right. Response, as soon as one team gets it, the other team responds, which is great. But just have a look at this on the replay. Great kick there to get it to the top of the screen. Out the back, as you said, Eaton just comes through and snags one. So,
well done to Lynch, wasn't it? She created the contrast and the spillage. And then smart play from Eaton. Used all her experience there to kick the third for the Pies.
So back to a 2-point margin here in favour of the Roos. Almost 7 minutes gone this second term. Ball ends up in the advantage of Clare. Might be a free kick in the back. It is. So the Roos will get the advantage here. Player taking the kick is Nat Heggie. And the kick isn't great. It's landed in the hands of Barwick again, Brownie, who's been so busy in this match, as we said a few moments ago.
Well, she just reads the play. A great intercept.
That
defender.
Kick is landed inside 50. Opportunity again here for Glenorchy. Clarence dive onto the footy, get themselves out of trouble. Kick back inside the centre square. Barwick again. She's around lurking for the footy once more. But now some nice work here from the Roos. Comes out to the wing. Mark couldn't be taken by Williams. And now big hits coming from everywhere at the moment. Everything on the line here. Premiership to be won. Umpire will ball it up.
It was a great contest there with Jay Williams and really slick hands off the deck from Mitchell.
Up it goes once more. Trying to kick off the ground, the Pies, but the Roos do well. Get it out the back, and Heggie again. Her kicks a high ball in the air. Oh, Glenorchy though, nice mark taken by Daniels.
Good user, Brent. Watch it off this peg.
It's gone
just
straight
the wrong
down the throat of the opposition.
Commentator's curse.
Gilly, absolutely.
Limbrick, though, a fine player.
She is indeed. What a great start to the game she had up front. Couple of goals in that first term. Oh, that kick's a shocker. Gone straight to Gemma Allen, but she's under immediate pressure. She does well, Limbrick, to back it up. And now Glenorchy, chance for them again, but that's gone straight to the opposition as well.
Oh, clever kick.
Really nice. And the player under it is Pennicott again. Georgia Pennicott tries to find Smith. Almost took a really nice grab. Play goes on, and Glenorchy have it. Big kick. Gone to a one-on-one contest. Umpires blown
Might be
whistle.
downfield. It was Bresnahan who just collected Hannah Smith a bit late in that one.
Free kick will go to Talia Strong here, lads.
With a left footer.
Late in today.
So 2-point margin to the Roos.
Nice kick.
Really nice kick. Pops it up. Ochai out the back. Couldn't take the mark. She gets her footy back, though. Does really well. Bresnahan coming through. And that's a free kick going the way of Glenorchy.
Lynch. Dangerous person to have it in their hands.
Yeah, the skipper pops it inside. Can anyone take the mark? Ball to ground once more. Wrapped up. Not going too far. Another ball up.
It was a tremendous tackle there from Meg Jacobs. Just let her know about it. Back up again. Sorry, Breno. Ochai down for Barwick. Couldn't get her kick off. Jumping around. It's now Bresnahan. Just holds it up.
It was a great tackle in that previous stoppage, but well done too by the Clarence player. I think it was Catherine Johnson. She knew she was going to be tackled. Just took the hit for a team. Well done.
Up it goes once more. And now Clarence do well out of defence. Kick taken by Archer. Glenorchy try and win it back out there, far side of the ground. Bronte Scott. And now Nat Pearce gets it to the wing. Bouncing footy, one-on-one contest. And ball dribbles out of bounds, boundary throw in.
Anthony Osborne down you on the boundary. Oh, can't quite hear you breaking up there, Anthony.
There, guys. Got me? Something to keep an eye on here. Maddie Smith from Clarence just making her way to the bench in quite a bit of pain. We know she spent quite a bit of the break off on the interchange bench. She looked really good at the start of the quarter, but looks to have re-injured that shoulder, so I'll keep a close eye on that as the quarter progresses.
Good work there, Aussie, as they'll move the ball away through Scott. She overshoots it. It's out in the full.
Jade Williams with another touch off half-back, boys. That time on a left foot. Really good skills, both sides of her body.
So Sutcliffe powers along. It's gathered nicely by Manjerovic. Into forward 50. O'Shea leads the foot race. Just gets her kick away. It might come back in anger. It's picked up by Allen. She's in a Clarence sandwich. Tackles from both directions.
See, that matchup's terrific, Gilly. O'Shea and Lynch. Love watching that.
It's fantastic, Brownie. That injury of Smith, one to keep an eye on. The Roos have the ascendancy at the moment, but she is a big player in this ball game. This will be another stoppage. Tight tussle here at UTAS Stadium. 3-2. Plays 3 straight. Just the 2-point lead, rather. What did I say? 8 points. It comes out as Bresnahan doesn't quite gather. They keep it alive, the Pies. They should mop up at the back here through Smith. And a good tackle sees it out. It was Archer, rather. Spills out through her hands. Cries for a throw, I think. No free kick coming, though. Bresnahan, she's been terrific so far. 7 touches in the first term. Down it comes. Off the hands of Wells. There's a whistle. It's going to be a free kick for the Magpies, and it's going to be one of their goal kickers so far in Sutcliffe. She likes to get going. We've seen this a bit, Brownie. Kicks out of the pocket. Lynch almost coming through. Was Archer, and then Ochai. She's in a spot of bother. It'll be a ball up.
I love that intent, though, from Mackie Sutcliffe, just to get it in quickly to your forward line. Give them a chance one-on-one.
Yeah, no, she's eager every time she gets the footy. Ochai down now to a runner. In Archer, throws it on the boot. Almost gathered by Barwick. She's in trouble now. Limbrick's got her. Ball up.
We've called Archer a few times, boys, off half-back for Clarence. An intercept marker.
So, another ruck contest. Down it goes off the hands of Sullivan. Out the back is Sutcliffe. Just paddles it along. Good follow-up pressure, but caught Bronte Scott high. She'll take her kick. The right back pocket. An unsure kick out of defence, and that's the way it ended up. Gathered by the opposing ruckman in Sullivan. She looks long. Off the right boot. Target is Lynch. One touch, couldn't complete the grab. Tate Turvey almost. Ochai now finds a runner out the back in forward. Socket all away by Sutcliffe. They come climbing over the top, and again caught high was Scott. So this has just been the worry, getting it out of defensive 50. They've got short targets, and they use one in Georgia Pennicott. Pennicott pokes a kick towards half back. Gathering nicely was Johnson, but she's in trouble. No whistle, though. They work it out through hands. Pennicott throws on the boot. There's a whistle, though.
Yeah, free kick down the ground, I think.
Yeah,
no, it's been reversed, actually.
It's reversed. It's going to be a Sandy Eaton kick. No, there's confusion aplenty here. Brownie. So it is going to be a Clarence kick.
Oh,
There's a bit going on.
yeah, there is.
And it's going to be 50. So that's costly.
I think that was against Sandy Eaton, boys. Player went down.
Yeah, you just got to keep your discipline, don't you, in a grand final. Yardage in the territory game is a premium, particularly in a tight contest.
So it's Jessica Manifi with the kick for the Roos. She wasn't her best work, and now a big tackle from behind from Bresnahan. And umpires blowing the whistle for a hold there. We'll go to the free kick to the Roos. And Manifi again goes sideways
Nice kick.
and centres the footy. And now that player again in Limbrick, who's been fantastic this game. Bouncing footy, Elliston couldn't get there. And now the Pies do well to work it out of defence and out of danger for the moment. The mark not taken there. Tackle from behind. No, it wasn't from Limbrick in the end. It was Sealy that got boot to ball there. Mark not taken. Clarence do well though. Player loses her feet though. That was Archer. Now inside 50. What can be mustered here? High on, says the umpire. And the Magpies, they wheel around here. Ball will land to an empty space, and the Roos work it out through Pennicott. Magpies have the footy. Big tackle though from Elliston. She dives onto the footy. Does well, gets back up. Does really well. Elliston gets the footy back again. She pumps it up the line, bouncing towards her teammate in Pearce. Really flirting with the boundary now. Staying alive though, the footy. Magpies get boot to ball, but only as far as the opposition. Little toe poke off the ground.
Good hands.
Great hands there. It was Allen. And now here's Skinner again. She pumps it long. No one can take it. The ball bouncing. Out the back there is Hinks. Hinks under pressure. Magpies do well. Boot to ball there was strong. But the Roos get it out of danger through Barwick. And bouncing towards the boundary line. That's where it eventually will go over.
They're really
That was a
weathering a
perfect
storm here. Sorry, Brownie.
I was going to say, Minfie was a perfect kick, wasn't it, coming out of the back half? Sorry, Damo.
9-1 inside 50s in this term to Glenorchy. So,
Wow.
dominance, and Clarence really weathering a storm.
They are indeed, that's for sure. Not too long left in this second term too before half time. 2-point margin, 3-2-23 straight 18. So the siren can't come quick enough here at the moment for one of these teams. It is, as you said, Gilly, weathering a storm. Magpies win it out, but Clarence do well. Tarn forward. All couldn't be marked. Missed opportunity there for the Roos. Big tackle from behind. And there's the siren. So half-time, it's a 2-point advantage to the Clarence Roos. 3-2-20. Glenorchy 3 straight 18. What's been an entertaining TSLW grand final.
Well, it was another tight quarter, wasn't it? Just the 2 goals kicked, just the 2 scoring shots on that occasion. And early on in the second quarter, it was Bresnahan who ran in and took the responsibility and kicked a great goal for her team. And you just thought then Clarence might have had their game up and running, but Glenorchy responded. And a great goal from Eaton, which resulted on a terrific contest from Lynch to cause the spillage, and then loose ball in the goal square, and running onto the open goal was Eaton. And then, as you mentioned, boys, in the call, Glenorchy just surged it forward, and Clarence, I thought, stood up pretty well in the back half. They were under pressure. I thought Archer had some really important touches and some clearing kicks out of defence, and they just held on. And they probably just couldn't get their hands on the footy to get their running game going. They look dangerous to me when they can get it on the outside and use their leg speed, but Glenorchy probably just outworked them in the last 10 minutes of that second quarter.
So here are the goals in that second quarter. It was a magnificent bit of work by Bresnahan. Just steamed on through and finished off with perfection. And it looked at that stage like Clarence were maybe going to bound away, but has been the case in this game so far. It's been about quick replies, and we saw it just slapped on the boot by Tate Turvey. A juggling effort from Lynch, and out the back, Eaton finished off. And this arm wrestle continues.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at some of the second quarter stats. The inside 50s we mentioned. Glenorchy 9, Clarence 1. This is for the second quarter. Hit-outs 3-5 in favour of the Roos, and the Roos an extra free kick as well, 6-5. 5 kicks that quarter for Skinner Browning, who was good in the first term as well for the Magpies, and for Clarence, Limbrick 6 disposals, 2 tackles, Bresnahan 6 disposals on that wonderful goal as well, and a Chai 5 disposals and 3 hit-outs.
Yeah, you mentioned Bresnahan. I think that's about 13 touches and a goal for her in the first half, so a terrific start to the game from her. And Skinner, you're right, was terrific with the 5 kicks in that quarter. You expect her to be. She rolls through the midfield and through half forward, Team of the Year, loves a goal, and works really hard, really skillful player. So it's all set up for a terrific second half, boys, here. And Limbrick, you saw her class, didn't you, boys? She's kicked a couple of goals for her team, 6 disposals, the 2 tackles in that second quarter, working really hard. So you can see, some of the dominant players and the best players starting to rise to the occasion in the back half of that second quarter.
So, Anthony Osborne, whereabouts are you, mate? I think you might have an interview for us. You're battling away. We'll get back to you in a moment, but there's the goal kickers for the first half of footy. It's been a tremendous half of football, Brent Costelloe, just the 2 points in it. Clarence probably owned the first quarter. The second quarter belonged to Glenorchy, but they did not make it pay on the scoreboard. It might come back to bite them.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to make the most of your opportunities in grand finals, don't you, Brownie? Hopefully that won't come back and bite them in the second half, but certainly had the momentum there in that second term.
Well, Glenorchy with 9 inside 50s, they'd be disappointed just to get the 1 goal, I would have thought, in the first half, in that second quarter. Clarence, conversely, just the 1 inside 50 in the second term, and it was a goal to Bresnahan. So they probably need a little bit more out of their midfield. They're probably just struggling a little bit across half forward, I would have thought, Clarence. At different times, both Pennycotts have got their hands on the footy. Limbrick's tried to drive it there, but Glenorchy probably controlling it a little bit across half back. Really like the work of Jade Williams, the first-year player. She uses the ball on both sides of her body really, really well. Corrie's another one. Daniels, they're pretty well set up across half back. So Clarence will need to reassess that, I would have thought, in the second half. They might have to get their hands in the ball of some of their running players. We know they can break open the lines and just to try and clear that area, because that is probably a bit of a concern for them at the moment. So we'll see what happens. Scott's an outside player, Bronte Scott, who can run and carry the footy. So look for her hopefully in the second half from a Clarence perspective. Hannah Scott's another one, an attacking defender. So maybe they need to just try and break open the game a little bit and run and carry the footy. But as we mentioned, all set up here, boys, for a terrific second half.
No, it is indeed. We'll see a few more of these highlights from the second quarter as Anthony Osborne just wanders on down there. What have you got for us, Osborne? You're giving us duck eggs. Can't hear him. He's giving us nothing. We'll get back to him in a little bit. We might have a brief break now, and we'll come back and get ready for a massive second half here from UTAS Stadium. Stay with us, just 2 points the difference. Clarence on top, but not on, not out of the woods. 3-2-20 plays Glenorchy 3 straight 18.
Georgia Pennycott tries to find Smith, almost took a really nice grab. Play goes on.
Half back, gathering nicely was Johnson, but she's in trouble. No whistle though, they work it out through hands. Pennycott.
It's working now, a big tackle from behind from Bresnahan. Umpire's blowing the whistle for a hold there. We'll go to the free kick to the Roos. Toe poke off the ground.
Good hands.
Great hands there. Here's Allen. And now here's Skinner again. She pumps it long.
We were there when Nathan from Newtown found himself in a spot of bother. We dubbed it Nathan's Mobile in the Washing Machine Mishap. RACT Insurance, a part of your Tasmanian story.
try and get it out of defence. They do just that. But here's Barwick again. She was brilliant in the first half. And now picked up beautifully by Sullivan. And the ball not going too far. I reckon we'll have a whistle here. We do.
You spoke of Barwick's first half, Breno. 11 disposals, 3 tackles. So had a really big impact. One of the prime movers for Glenorchy.
Absolutely. Should be obviously got a best on-ground medal in this Gilly as well, no doubt, in this grand final. So we'll keep an eye on that as the second half progresses as well. Che in there, trying to just get the handball out. And the Glenorchy player wrapped up, another ball up, so another stoppage here, and 2 minutes into this third quarter. Goes once more. Dangerous spot here, we know that. For an umpire's blown a whistle here, so free kick. So we speak of the dangerous again. Spot. And now Glenorchy has a chance to have a shot on goal. Might just be testing the distance here though, Brownie. In they come the Magpies. The kick goes to the top of the square. No one could take it, but out the back, a kick, and it's a nice kick too. Glenorchy get the first of the second half through Hannah Smith.
Yeah, that was a terrific goal, wasn't it? Just had the presence of mind. One of the key features of Hannah Smith, she just gets to a lot of contests, doesn't she? Gives herself every chance to be involved, and she can create some great runs from the back half. Does push forward and kick a goal.
It was a fantastic goal, and it started again with Barwick running hot in this game. So Glenorchy gained the lead. It's been a fascinating contest, this one. Back in the middle again, powerful.
Entries already for Glenorchy this quarter.
Sullivan again, down now. Skinner races away, forward in. Sign 50. I think she's got.
There's a try
there too, Brent. Sullivan, be another stoppage.
I mean, Glenorchy are definitely winning the territory game, boys. If you go back to...
She's in the TSLW right now and having an impact. They've weathered the storm and kicked one the other way. Clarence regained the lead here in the grand final at UTAS Stadium.
Well, that's what your best players do. They stand up in the big moments, and it was a terrific finish from Maddie Smith. Just playing in front. She's a difficult matchup, as we know, boys.
Talk about making those opportunities count, Brownie. Suddenly Clarence back in the lead after it, being all Glenorchy for the last quarter.
Well, it's probably their first goal in about 30 minutes of footy almost since Bresnahan ran into the open goal in the second quarter in the early stages.
So 13 minutes gone in this third turn, the premiership quarter, of course, and Clarence are coming. There's no doubt about that. Here's that girl again. Bresnahan pops it inside 50, and Smith again. Kicked a goal a few moments ago. Maddie Smith, don't tell me no, off to the right. Gee whiz, they've gone into probably third or fourth gear now, Brownie, after being struggling in first there. Spluttering along by Pennicott. Pennicott's kick goes to the paint of 50. Elliston, who's set wonderfully goal up a moment or two ago. And now, climbing onto the ball was Bronte Scott. Back inside 50. Collected though by Rachel Seeley. Off to Jade Williams. As it turned over, Seeley again does well, out of defence. But only as far as the Roos again. They get another inside 50. They've really turned the corner here, Clarence. Bouncing footy. And now Jade Williams. Seeley's there to collect again. No, it's not Seeley, sorry. It was Corey. Kick comes back outside. Clarence right on top now. Pressure right around the footy. Elliston's there. Picked out though by Pennicott. Kick goes nowhere. But now this one goes high in the air. Someone's underneath it. And now they put boots at ball. Goes to the top of the square. It's all Glenorchy though. 2-on-1 contest. And the players collide from Glenorchy. Opens up a chance here for Clarence. Limbrick was there. Kicked a couple of goals in that first term, of course. And now the Roos again through Nat Pearce. To the goal square. Bouncing footy though. Went the wrong way and out of bounds. So let off there for Glenorchy. But still in a very dangerous spot, Cam Brown.
There's a couple of involvements there for Pearce. Thought she probably could have gone back and try and find a teammate in that earlier inside 50 entry.
Back in play. Dangerous territory here for Glenorchy. They lead this one. Clarence by 4 points.
Well, now it's Clarence, isn't it, with winning the territory battle, and they look dangerous now they're inside forward 50. They look like scoring.
Seeley and Elliston in the ruck. Maddie Smith out the back. Oh, yeah! Maddie Smith has turned this game on its head. 2 goals in the last couple of minutes puts Clarence up to a 10-point lead.
Yeah, well, look, she I think it kicked 23 goals coming into this game today from 9 matches, and she's already kicked 2. Too much room in the stoppage there, I would have thought, from a Glenorchy's perspective. She was on the move, and with all her experience, just laid it across the body for a terrific finish.
Look at the scoreboard too now, Brownie. All those inside 50s Glenorchy had, it's 9 shots to 4.
Well, they've turned it on its head in a blink of an eye, really. The last 6 inside 50s, the Roos, so they weathered the storm nicely, and now it's paying dividends. The Roos again look to press forward. Lynch out the back now. Corrie throws it on the boot, bouncing onto the outer side. It's with Manjerovic. She does nicely. Sees a target, just puts it out in front. It'll be gathered by Allen. She'll wrap up her opposing figure, Brownie.
Yeah, I just wonder whether it's time for Lynch to go back forward.
So coming through was Ryan. Didn't make meaningful contact. Here's Skinner. She could maybe be the fire starter. Give it Tate Turvey. Ochai does well, cuts it off. Heggie farms it out nicely. Limbrick on the boot, but cut off.
Good
and
mark.
cut off well was Williams.
Really nice.
She's been terrific in the last line of defence today, right from the word go, Jade Williams. She's a long kick too.
Smith just laid her out as play continues. Williams inside 50, a long kick looking for the goal kicker in Smith. The opposite 6 in Pearce, bounds away. Kicking onto the outer side, it bounces towards the boundary line. Manjerovic should pick it up. She trickles it out of play, so a 10-point lead for the Roos.
That'd be a game high, I would have thought, too, boys, in this game. 10 points.
No question, and it's crazy to think how much of the play Glenorchy had.
Well, a big 30 seconds here coming up, I would have thought, for Glenorchy. They just need to get a clearance from this stoppage and get it inside forward 50, give themselves a chance to score.
Be thrown in again. Ochai down. Soccering nicely was Pennicott. Gathering was Sutcliffe. Going nowhere fast. Farmed out nicely again by Heggie. She's been good through hands. Elliston helps it forward. Maddie Smith. She's turned this game on its head. The siren beats them as they look to pile on their 6th of the game.
Tell you what, that was almost dribbling through that. If she had kicked it
It was
time.
indeed. Maddie Smith looks in a mood. We know she was injured early in the game, but she's turned it on its head in the 3rd. Fantastic work.
Well, she was probably the difference, wasn't she, between the two teams? Just her ability to finish, boys. When a reasonably low-scoring game, and to kick 2 goals for her team in that 3rd quarter sets them up with a handy 10-point lead. Glenorchy did hit the front in the 3rd quarter with that goal from Hannah Smith, who we know can push forward as a defender and kick goals. But Glenorchy will get an opportunity now to reassess. I just wonder whether or not you do move Lynch forward if you're Craig Grace. She is obviously a terrific goal kicker, and can be that sort of player that we saw on that occasion that Maddie Smith was for the Roos.
So as we turn for the last, Clarence lead 5-4-34 to Glenorchy 4 straight 24. Glenorchy dominated most of the 2nd and 3rd terms, but had very little to count for it. It's a fascinating contest. Clarence would probably look better, Brownie, when they've got it on the outside and use their foot speed.
Absolutely agree.
Speed.
And when they took the game on, when they started to win some of the centre bounce clearances and actually got it over the top of the centre half forward line and started to get it inside 50, they looked really dangerous, and they started to score, and then all of a sudden they were set up behind the footy, and then they could start to get some repeat inside 50 entries and get some time in the forward half, which we know is so pivotal to modern day footy in both the men's and the women's game. And so they certainly look stronger in the back half of that quarter. But Glenorchy, they'll be a proud club. As we mentioned, they've only lost a couple of games all season, so they would fancy themselves still to come back. But they are short quarters, boys, aren't they, when you're watching them like we are? 18 minutes, it goes pretty quickly, so you do have to make the most of your opportunities.
So we're seeing here on the vision, Brownie, Maddie Smith, that was the first of 2 goals in that term. To that point, Clarence had barely seen it in their half of the ground.
Well, you're right. Look, it was a long time, 11 or 12 minute mark in the third quarter before they actually got an inside 50 entry, and then bang, bang. So they've got no difficulties in scoring when they do get it in there, as we saw, and it helps to have a class player like Maddie Smith to do the damage for you and finish off the work of your midfielders.
So some of the stats leaders, 8 hit-outs to Ochai. Skinner's been very impressive. 17 disposals, 9 inside 50s, 7 in that term. But yet again, we talk about didn't really see her dominance. 4 inside 50s in that term, rather 7 disposals. Really good quarter, but they just aren't making it count, Glenorchy, whereas Clarence the other way. Bresnahan's had 18 disposals, game high, and Smith the 2 goals in the term. In terms of inside 50s for the game, Glenorchy 24-14, yet what are we, 9 scoring shots to 4. So that's a concerning statistic if you're Grace, I believe.
Yeah, and look, I think it goes without saying they probably need to get their hands in the ball of their best players. It probably starts with Sullivan in the ruck. If she can start to give some service to players like Skinner. Barwick's another one who probably needs to get her hands in the footy. She's so dominant when she does, very creative and goes at it really, really hard. Barwick, she's probably got to bob up for them. Sutcliffe's another one that can do some damage and kick goals. So I certainly wouldn't rule out Glenorchy. And with players like Eaton and Lynch, they have got the 4 targets there to kick goals. So really excited about the last quarter. It's been a fantastic game, Brenner.
Yeah, it has. Thoroughly enjoyed it, Brownie, and set for a massive last quarter as well, as we know. But yeah, look, Glenorchy, hopefully those missed chances just don't come back to bite them. That's all.
Now, there is a best on ground medal for this game. Who do you fancy at this point? 3/4 time. It's been a seesawing contest.
Oh, for mine, it'd be Bresnahan. I think if she can have a good last quarter, she probably wins the medal. I thought even in the first quarter, just some of her working close. She's got great footy intelligence, hasn't she? And to kick that goal in the second quarter to give her team a little bit of momentum at the time, and she's just been consistent, 6 or 7 touches every quarter. So I would have thought, she would be right in the mix from a Glenorchy's perspective. Bark was certainly there early in the game. I really like the work of Skinner and some of their players off half-back. I think Jade Williams has been an underrated player today too for Glenorchy across half-back. Kicks the ball really well, as we've mentioned a few times throughout the call. Limerick's another one. Limerick probably went out of it a little bit that quarter, I thought, boys, so there's certainly some upside for her. But you never know. Maddie Smith gets on the scoreboard and kicks a couple of goals. She could probably walk away with a medal as well. She copped a heavy knock too.
She did cop a heavy knock. It looked like it was going to really affect her game. She's been a great target though, especially in that quarter. 2 goals. We might just see if Anthony Osborne is lurking down there, as he likes to do. He's around the Clarence huddle. Let's see if we can hear you this time, Anthony. No, I can't hear you. Ash, can you hear it? No, we can't pick you up. Sorry, Anthony. We'll try in a second. So 3/4 time here. You there, Anthony? No.
The Clarence huddle.
There we are. Gotcha.
Good to be here with you guys. Just down here at the Clarence huddle. Got Talia Bortignon with me. Obviously not playing today, Talia, but a quarter to go. You're confident that the girls can get over the line?
You're just breaking up there, mate.
The games against Glenorchy have been really amazing, especially to watch. And this game, it's a bit of a nail biter, but I reckon the girls can finish off, so I reckon they'll do really well.
Maddie Smith, absolutely. Quarter, it must be great to have someone like that in.
Yeah, it's awesome. We have a lot of really awesome players, a lot of strong, heaps of different types of strengths that we have, and just all gelling to one, especially strength. It's really.
Well, best of luck for the last. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry, sorry about the technical difficulties there. We caught bits and pieces of that little exchange, but not all of it.
Daniel starting at full forward for Glenorchy in the last quarter. I like that move.
I like it as well, Brownie. Can kick goals when it counts, Daniels. Good target. They can just... They probably lack that target, that term. A lot of footy in the right areas, but just, as we've said at nausea, didn't make it count what does the last quarter have in store as we turn for the last? 10 points the difference. Clarence on top. Glenorchy played some good footy though. A fitting grand final, a fitting conclusion for this Wrest Point TSLW season. Up it goes again. Sullivan and Wells. It was Sullivan, and out the back, racing away was Manjerovic. Picking up was Bresnahan. And then it was forward, but she was claimed. They're working out through hands. Here's Skinner. Sees something she likes. Kicks long. Nice kick in the end. Found Terry. Feeds it out. The first goal, very important here. Claiming a tackle was Allen, and it's ping ball.
I'm not sure there was a lot she could have done on that occasion.
Not sure she had prior. Uchai can just go out wide. Misses her target in Archer, but has time to mop up. Looks ahead. Out of the wing. Plenty of space here now.
Great smother.
It's a block ball. It was Skinner. She's had a good afternoon. They work it out through Heggie. Just gets a hand away. Slapping was Sullivan. She might have been caught high. Allen underneath it all. They climb on top the Roos. So it's farmed out nicely in the end by Allen. Running onto this one was Barwick. And she's been wrapped up by Bresnahan. It'll be another stoppage.
You think from a Glenorchy perspective, they need to kick the first goal. I think in this type of footy, 16 points if Clarence were to get it. If it got out to 3 goals, it would be too big a margin for for Glenorchy to pull back.
Bresnahan throws it onto the boot. She's been a star throughout this contest. Big punch forward there by Nieta Lynch. And now Glenorchy under pressure here. They get one out the back though, kick away. Ochai's in there. All players throw themselves on the footy. Nice kick out there from Sandy Eaton. But Clarence now, big tackle from behind. Eaton again, gets boot to ball. Inside 50, bouncing footy. And the Roos are all over it though. Paddled out there by Johnson. Ball to ground. Umpires letting this one go. And Glenorchy get it out in the end. Can they scoop it up here, the Magpies? They're desperate for a goal. Try and work their way back into this match.
Super handball.
Really nice stuff. And now Corrie gets it inside. Eaton's there. She's chasing the footy. She's got Rachel Long on her tail though. And keeps it in though, does well Eaton. Ball to ground. Handball comes out from Bronte Scott. And now the Roos have a bit of space to work with. The kick goes into space. And there to collect is Barwick. Gets boot to ball.
Pay advantage.
Umpires, yep, it's coming back, in fact. And looks like
Going
Barwick
to the
will take
Pies.
the kick.
Yeah, just caught high, I think.
So the kick moves forward. Oh, good grab taken there by the Pies. They play on quickly. Goes to the paint of 50. Big tackle from behind. Umpire said play on. Players are diving all over it, right on the arc, and we'll have a ball up. So 3.5 minutes gone in this final term. 10-point lead to Clarence. They've had more scoring shots too. 5 more scoring shots, in fact, despite Glenorchy dominating the inside 50s through a period of this match. Looking to get one back here now as we have stopped for another ball up.
Yeah, from a Glenorchy perspective, I think Elise Barwick is one player that can take the game on with a run and carry. They'd love the ball in her hands in the last 10 or so minutes of this game.
Up it goes again. Oh, nicely done there from the Magpies. Steaming through was Sutcliffe. Wrapped up. Clarence get the kick out though inside the centre square. Elliston was there. Smith too. But the Pies do okay. Daniels, sorry, it was Corrie. And now they've done well here, the Magpies. At inside 50 coming up. They've got some numbers there. Ball bouncing towards the goal square. Can they get one back here? Daniels' hand passes out. They get boot to ball. It's intercepted though and stopped by them. But turning around, having a look at goals, Natalie Daniels. She gets one back for her side. The lead cut back to just 4 points. Glenorchy's back in town.
Well, the move pays dividends, doesn't it? Daniels forward, and really like the inside forward 50 entry from Strong. just before that play. It was a long, deep kick. And then it was Daniels initially who was playing in front and gave the handball off, but then followed up and this time did it all herself. It was a great kick around the body. So terrific start to last quarter for Glenorchy.
We've said it a lot. She's a great user of the footy, Daniels, and that was a terrific finish. First 6 inside 50s to this term for Glenorchy, so they are surging their way back into this contest. Restarted again. Heggie wraps up Barwick. It'll be another stoppage. So just 4 points the difference. What a grand final we have for us here. Sullivan off to Barwick. Racing away was Elise Barwick. Good leg speed. Throws it on the boot. Inside forward 50 is Smith. Smith around it. Ochai's got her. It'll be a stoppage.
Well, you can see the importance of Barwick. That's why we mentioned her as a player in this last quarter that could have a real pivotal impact. She runs and carries. Looks dangerous, doesn't she?
Absolutely. Up they go again. Ochai down. Gathered by Barwick. Not sure she got rid of it legally. Gathering this time with Sutcliffe. Wrapped up and slung. Going nowhere fast.
Wow. 12 minutes to go. Brilliant game of footy.
So 7 straight inside 50s for Glenorchy. They're just 4 points adrift. Smith out the back. The skipper of the Roos comes in. Tries to get it out of congestion.
Smith looks like she's gone back onto the ball for Clarence.
Will be thrown up again. Forward 50 for Glenorchy. Ochai over the top. Punch forward by Sutcliffe. Ochai again. Sees it out to Bresnahan. She's been terrific. Rebounding from defence. Kicking forward. She finds it targeting Grace Mitchell. Just kicks for touch. Regathers her footy. Kick to herself. That's inventive stuff. Over the top is forward. Forward now on a break. Can they catch them on a counter punch? Sockers forward. Should be cut off. Good forward pressure there applied by Elliston. Really good stuff. They didn't let them out quickly. They've kept it in here, the Roos. They've done magnificently well. Elliston again. 3 tackles in a row. And they keep it where they need it, the Roos.
Yeah, she hasn't hit the scoreboard today, Elliston, but I think she's had a terrific game. 15 goals for the year from her 15 matches.
So up in the ruck was Sophie Pennycock. Down now. It's Nat Pearce. Out for forward. Has a look at the sticks. Probably had more time than she knew there, Tarn forward.
No doubt.
We see it again. She takes the grab. Just went round the corner and probably could have steadied and eyed them off and taken a bit of time off the clock as well. As Glenorchy make their way out of defence. Picked up nicely by Smith. Powering forward now. They're looking at the target of Daniels. She's kicked one. Picking up in defence was Archer for the Roos. Rebounding. Couldn't quite pick out her target in Bresnahan. She's there to apply pressure on Manjerovic. Skinner now. Inside 50. Daniels the target out the back. Almost. Couldn't quite complete the grab. Jumping on top was Smith. It'll be a forward stoppage for the Magpies.
Dangerous here for Clarence. Keep your eye on Mackie Sutcliffe here on the stoppage.
Up it goes again. Ochai terrific. Bresnahan at the full, as she so often has. Thrown on the boot. Looking goalward. Well wide in the end. Well wide. Out for another throw in.
That's a pressure of finals footy, isn't it, boys? Forward took the mark inside 50 and just probably backed herself to play on. If she had a time over again, probably would have gone back and had a set shot.
So it'll be thrown in again. 9 minutes gone in this last quarter. Just 5 points the difference. One straight kick will do the job for Glenorchy. Skinner almost. Emerging from the pack.
Have hands.
Archer now. Kicks out of defence. Manjerovic should lead the foot race. Has a bit of time and support in Sutcliffe. Mitchell does really well, but mops it back up. Bounding through was Ryan. Runs into trouble and he's gone. That's a terrific tackle.
That's a brilliant tackle.
Bronte Scott.
So perfect conditions for footy here now after some heavy rain here in Launceston this morning. The sun's out, the ground's probably pretty dry now, I would have thought, boys, and obviously the big game coming up after this one as well. The men's TSL Grand Final, as we see Ball go to ground. Clarence win that one out. Boot to ball from Bronte Scott. And now they're away here through Pennicott. Pennicott's kick. Mark not taken by Tarn Ford, who missed that shot on goal not too long ago. And we see Rachel Seeley sent over the line for Glenorchy.
Just a quick one, Breno. Ochai's been really important in that defensive 50 stoppages. 6 hit-outs, 2 tackles this term.
There you go. Was my selection for best on ground in this game. Gilly has been important. She goes again, wins it down again on that occasion. No one can win it out. Players dive on top of it.
Got her other selections, Brent, there?
I probably do, Brownie. Let's have a look. Cam Brown has gone for Nicole Bresnahan, if you don't mind. Damian Gill has gone for Nat Daniels. So, few players in the mix for the best on ground, no doubt about that. Glenorchy get the kick on off the ground. Big
Great
tackle from behind from Darcy Elliston. She's been fantastic.
Yeah,
Gets
great call,
herself a
Breno.
kick.
Her defensive pressure has been brilliant.
Hasn't it what? So she kicks really close to the player on the mark, but it goes inside 50 anyhow. Players try and take the mark and just desperate to try and extend this lead they've got at the moment, Clarence, which is 5 points. It's in the right spot for them. 5-5-35 to 5 straight 30. Almost gone 11 and a half minutes. Final term, TSLW Grand Final. Seeley does well. Here's Ochai though.
Oh,
Gets it inside, paddles it inside. Sophie Pennicott. Here's Elliston again. What a grab. She's
call,
been
Breno.
huge this quarter.
She's brave. She committed her body, going back with the flight of the ball. If we get a chance on the replay, have a look at this. No fear. Went back into traffic. Terrific mark.
Absolutely.
She's had a great quarter. We know she can kick goals. Averages a goal a game. No more important kick in the context of her season than this one right now.
Darcy Elliston, she's been huge in this final term. That's not her best kick though. In fact, it's missed a lot out of bounds on the full.
They've got an opportunity here, Glenorchy, because Jade Williams is a big kick of the football, so she'll try and clear this area.
Absolutely. So massive let off there for Glenorchy.
Gee, that's
Great
a great
kick.
kick.
Really nice kick. The mark taken by Sarah Davis. Goes to the wing. Pops it in front of us here in the commentary position. And Glenorchy, that kick is going to go straight to Clarence though. The mark spilled though. That was Rachel Archer. Does well to get a footy back though. Goes towards the centre square. Done well though was Corrie. Inside 50, there's a player loose behind here for the Magpies. Oh, she opts not to use her though, and that is a goal, Glenorchy!
Sutcliffe.
Wow.
Well done, Mackie Sutcliffe. It could have been a disaster. There was a player on her own, I think it was Hannah Smith, but opted for goal, and it all paid dividends in the end.
Well, that's confidence, isn't it, from Sutcliffe? She backed herself to kick the goal. Some people don't want the responsibility, but not so Maddie Sutcliffe, the first-year player from the SFL.
Great handball from Nat Daniels as well.
It was.
Brownie really clever.
Couple of important touches.
Well, Glenorchy back in front by a point. This is a seesawing, fantastic grand final we've seen so far, Damian Gill.
Up again, Ochai been getting on top round there in the ruck. Moved on to the ball. She's crunched in a tackle. It'll be a ball up.
The goal from Sutcliffe was brought about for mine by that long kick, attacking kick, wasn't it, from Jade Williams that set up that inside 50 entry. Great play from her.
Ochai over the top. Skinner gathers, farms out a handball. It's juggled
Oh, well done, Bresnahan.
by Terry. Bresnahan did well. Thrown on the boot by Limbrick. Pushed forward. They'll put it inside 50 now. Off the boot of Scott. Tipped down. The runner now. Nat Pearce has the sticks ahead of her. Throws it on the boot.
She's missed everything.
Out on the full.
Gee, she probably had time, didn't she, to straighten up. Elected to kick across the corner.
With just 1 point the difference, Brownie. It could prove really costly, those
She
two
need to
last
score.
shots. Both out on the full. So they move it out of defence now. It's Williams. Well cut off by Bresnahan. She's been enormous.
What a game. Now, she can... We saw in the first quarter spot up a kick.
She looks long. Numbers back for Glenorchy. Tip down. That's a good defensive grab, or maybe not for Lynch. She tried to claim it. Be balled up.
Tell you what.
If you can't, Clarence, sorry, Brent, Limbrick might be the play here.
So almost 15 minutes gone, just 3 minutes left in this game. Who can be the match winner? Right round goal. Heggie comes in. Tipping away. Limbrick sniffing around at Barwick. Wrapping up was Limbrick again. A stoppage. So Clarence just 1 point adrift from their arch rivals Glenorchy. Up it goes again. Down from Pennicott. And to Limbrick, who's wrapped up.
What's the rules for a draw, Gilly?
It'll be extra time, I would have thought. They don't just have draws in grand final, Brent. Ochai down.
Thanks for that.
Heggie almost. Ochai through the legs. Barwick thrown on the boot. Corrie does well, just slaps it out of there. Numbers equally shared here. Is picked up by Smith. Emerging from it was Pennicott. Slapped on the boot by Bresnahan. Inside 50. Couldn't complete the grab with Sealy. Coming about the back. Probably kicking in danger against Terry.
Should have been.
Not called. As Bronte Scott is ramped up.
2 minutes left.
2 minutes left in this contest. 1 point the difference. Ochai over the top. Smith looking for it. Ochai again. Farms it out. Caught was Pearce. Coming out the back was Bresnahan. Oh, it's been pinged. It was almost the moment for Bresnahan. Sutcliffe now. Long onto the wing. Just overshoots it from Manjerovic. She comes and collects anyway. Hands it off. Skinner. If they can get it in the right area of the ground, that might be a good thing here, Glenorchy. Can't quite hit it at the target, Manjerovic. Off for Sutcliffe. Long and forward. Looking for Tate Turvey. She should be able to gather. Running onto it was Smith. Smith for Daniels. Daniels bounces in front of her. She should gather. She's wrapped up. Terrific defensive tackle from Kath Johnson.
Well, Clarence have got to go now. A minute left for them to get up the other side of the ground and score. They've just got to go through the corridor and take a risk.
It needs to be end-to-end footy if Clarence are going to win this ball game. In it comes. Not the best throw. Should probably have it again. Gathering with Sophie Pennicott. Collected high. She'll get a free kick.
She's got to go.
Now it's game on for Clarence.
Hurry up.
They can't get much wrong from here. Obstacle the corridor and Maddie Smith can't complete the grab. Danger now. Corrie off the ground. Looking to pick up as Daniels shovels it back. Smith picks up. Gets enough on it. Bounces through. Minor score.
Well, that was a better result for Clarence and out of bounds. Now they've just got to go straight up the middle. Not sure if they've got the time. Maddie Smith's going to take the kick.
30 seconds. Not even that. Smith to herself. Has to go long. Takes them on. A shimmy and a shake and another one. Powers long. It's all Glenorchy. They're going to win the grand final. Elise Barwick completes the mark. Probably could have milked the clock. Kicks inside 50. Maddie Smith, but the time's against the Roos. The siren's going to sound. Williams almost a defensive mark. They roll on the Roos, but it won't matter. Glenorchy win the premiership. In an absolute nail-biter here at UTAS Stadium.
2 points, and a lot spoken about where this game should be scheduled this week. Well, that has just spoken for itself and knocked it out of the park for 6. What a grand final. How exciting, Canberra.
Oh, terrific. Gee, I loved it, boys. What a great game, and hats off to all the girls and the coaches involved, because that was a great advertisement for TSL footy of the women's style, because they were terrific, both teams, the way they went about it. And it's a shame there's got to be a loser, and just a couple of margins of error there in the end that were the difference. But congratulations to Glenorchy. They were the most consistent team all year, but Clarence, they can hold their headers up high. But what a contest, boys. It was thrilling. Love the game.
We said a flip of the coin at the start of the game, and geez, it rang true. What a contest that was. It could have gone either way, really. Both teams well and truly had their chances to win the contest. Clarence will probably go back and just look at those 2 shots on goal where they kicked them out on the full. If they had at least snuck a point, they maybe could have taken this one to extra time at a worst case scenario. But not to be. It's a win for Glenorchy. Must be said, they were minor premiers throughout the season. This was the contest everyone wanted to see, though. The two best teams on the big stage in the prime time slot. Fantastic spectacle.
How about the comeback? You know,
Yeah,
three-quarter time, Brownie. It was all Clarence, wasn't it?
Well, we said if they, I just thought if Clarence scored the last goal, it was too big a hurdle. But in the end, I think it might have been, was it Daniels that kicked the opening goal the last quarter, which was a good move. She had a couple of important touches. I think she had an assist in the goal to Sutcliffe, and Glenorchy were able to hold on. But some terrific efforts from both teams, I would have thought, Gilly. Barwick, I thought, was really important, Brianna, early on. Elise Barwick always looked dangerous with the ball in the hand. Daniels had some important touches for Glenorchy. Eaton used her experience. Lynch, the move to the back half was an interesting one for mine, but they used her experience there, and she certainly had her moments. Skinner was really pivotal, I thought, too, particularly in that third quarter. Hannah Smith bobbed up for a goal. Sullivan, probably a great battle in the ruck, wasn't it? But she certainly could hold her head up high, and Sutcliffe was another one. And I love the work of Jade Williams off in the back half. I thought she was consistent, and what stood out for mine was her long, deep kicking in the back half, and was her kick in the end in that last quarter which started the ball rolling, wasn't it? It was that risk that she took, had the confidence to go across the ground, and then Glenorchy sliced them up through the corridor and got a goal to Sutcliffe. But Clarence, I thought Archer was really good in the back half. Elliston, we mentioned her performance in the last quarter in particular. Ford had some moments. I thought Limbrick was really good early for them. Both Pennicotts bobbed up at different times, and we saw Maddie Smith showing all her experience in class throughout different stages. But I thought Bresnahan, for mine, was probably even a losing side. I thought she was best on the ground. I thought she won a lot of the footy, used it really well, and tried so hard for a team. Sometimes these medals go to the winning team. But I don't think you could begrudge Bresnahan if she did win it today.
Yeah, I think for me it's either Bresnahan or Skinner. Skinner had 22 touches, 10 inside 50s. It was just weight of numbers in the end for the Pies. 35 inside 50s to 19 across the game. 21 to 11 in the second half.
How many Bresnahan? How many touches?
23.
Yeah, well, it's out of those two.
It has to be. Chai terrific as well, 19 hit-outs with 11 in the last term.
And she, you mentioned in the call, which was terrific, and the more the game got on, the more dangerous she got. And you can see why. AFL clubs are really interested in her. She's got some great natural athleticism. But, for TSL footy, TSLW, it was a great advertisement.
I loved it. I reckon it was fantastic. Bit of pressure on the men now to produce a good grand final as well.
Well, that was exciting, wasn't it? We're on the edge of our seats, and we thought, have Clarence got the time to get up the other side of the ground and score, but in the end, time ran out.
We might just see if Anthony Osborne's listening in down there and see whether he can get one of the players for us and maybe get some post-game reaction. I'll just set you the task there, Aussie, and see you hard at work. But look at the smiles and the celebration. Jubilant scenes here for the Magpies. Terrific win, come from behind win. Absolutely magnificent advertisement, as you said, for TSLW footy.
And well done to Craig Grace, the coach, and his assistant Peter Barwick. They were had it up against them, as Breno said, at three-quarter time, 10 points behind. And they're able to manufacture the win. Gee, aren't they delighted, Glenorchy? Lots of family and friends down there with them. How's Aussie going? Can we see him among their boys?
He's just trying to work the scene, just lurking as he
does. Work, doesn't he? He'd be a half-forward flanker in another life, I reckon.
Yeah.
Oz.
We might just have to pause for the presentations and see if the ostrich can get us something after it.
Gee, what do you say from a Clarence perspective, though, if you're Andy Smith? He just had to be delighted the way they went about it. They gave it their absolute all. A heartache for some of those players. They train hard all year.
Tell you what, there's some support here for the Magpies too, guys. Obviously an all-southern grand final here in Launceston, but there's plenty of support for the black and white.
The whole of the northern suburbs is just to the right of screen. Fantastic win, and keep in mind that Glenorchy made the grand final stage last season and couldn't get it done against Launceston, so a bit of a monkey off the back in that respect. A lot of reward for hard work, as we see Osborne, the lurker, just working his way into the scene there. We'll see. You got anyone for us, Aussie?
I reckon he'll go to Skinner or Bresnahan.
We're getting a bit of jumbled audio. He's a bit excited, the great man.
How's this happening there?
We're not getting much from
Just down
Anthony
here, boys. Just having, just soaking up the atmosphere down here. The presentation's just about to get underway, but I might just quickly grab Rachel Seeley.
Oh, can't hear. Turn the other way, please, Anthony Osborne.
Would you have it? Just got Rachel Seeley here with me. How does it feel, Premiership player, Rachel? Congratulations.
Thank you. Feels awesome. I think the girls really stepped up, especially in that when it got we were 10 points. We just kept each other and doing it for each other today, so it was a really awesome effort.
We'll just go through to the presentations here, guys. But
Thank you.
Thanks, Oz. Some of your better work. And we'll now just pause for the presentations to be made down on ground level. Really fascinating to see who collects the best on-ground medal. Cam Browns, how do you say? Well, now Rick Fontaine, some of his better work, just introducing.
Yeah, you'd think. I think we've got the best player drilled down on each side, boys. It just comes down to
Skinner and Bresnahan, isn't it?
Definitely.
Wowee. Mackie Sutcliffe. Wouldn't have picked that, Brownie, but she did have a very good game. 2 goals.
Well, she looked dangerous, didn't she? Particularly when she had some time and space to use the footy. She was always on the move.
So, what a win.
And even if you think to that first goal that she kicked, just her intent to bounce up, as she set the tone for her team, play on at all costs, keep it going, and her endeavour and energy. And I thought she energised the team in the last quarter. So, terrific effort for her to win the medal. Yeah, well done.
What a win for Glenorchy. We'll just soak up the scenes a little bit as the players get their medallions.
Well done to Gemma Allen. She's 100 games of footy, so a great tour for her. What a season too for Bianna Barley.
She was terrific today, I thought, Brownie.
Yep.
A lot of the footy.
Been playing there for 2 years, team of the year.
Elise Barwick, probably someone that could have featured in the best on ground votes, I reckon.
Yeah, well, she's another team of the year member, isn't she? And played really well.
Corrie, of course, last year's best and fairest winner for the competition. Did some really important things.
Yeah, particularly in that first half when they just seemed to control it in the back half, Glenorchy. Well, she had a couple of terrific moments, didn't she, Natalie Daniels, in the last quarter? Credit
a bit to the coach, Craig Grace, switching her forward. It was a really big move in terms of the game and how it sat. They were 10 points adrift, and I think that move of Daniels forward was terrific. Sandy Eaton, she's been a warrior for this football club.
Another one over 100 games. Loves the big stage.
Meg Jacobs receives her medal. A terrific spectacle. Sabrina Manjerovic.
She had some important touches out in the wing too, boys.
Really strong over the footy, Manjerovic.
Definitely.
Pinch it in the ruck a little bit today. Ryan did some nice things. They pretty
nice
good.
Kick, Ryan,
pretty good team balance today. The Magpies, Celia, leader of this lineup, team of the year member as well.
Yeah, vice captain.
Sarah Skinner probably unlucky not to collect the best on ground medal for mine. 22 touches, 10 inside 50s. Smith had some important touches, particularly late. Browning.
She did, definitely. Kicked a great goal.
Sullivan gave him first use at times in the middle, just competed hard.
She's like another midfielder, I would have thought, Sullivan, the way she works around the ground.
Mackie Sutcliffe collects her second medal of the day.
Another team of the year member.
Team of the year member, best on ground medal, premiership medal. Can't have too much better years than that one, really, Brownie. Fantastic. Gemma Terry comes up to collect her medal, and we just await a raucous celebration
I thought this girl was terrific. Jade Williams, first-year player.
Strong the late in.
She had her moments too. It was her forward, her deep inside 50 kick, I think, which resulted in the play that led up to the Daniels goal.
Here she is. You know it's Nieta Lynch because they all go wild. She's the skipper of this side.
What a year, 35 goals.
They welcome Craig Race. Minor premiership, now a premiership. Come from behind, win. 10 points behind at three-quarter time. Fantastic.
Great player in his own right. Craig Race at old scholars level.
Craig Grace.
It's tough, Breno, for Clarence, isn't it? Seeing out there, and you do have to show respect, don't you, to the opposition. But it's a tough time for them to sit here and see the opposition getting their winners' medals. But perhaps that spurs them on for next year.
Well, some people say you have to win one before you win one, Brownie. So it would be hard, though, wouldn't it? You come here today and you can walk away with a lovely trophy, a nice medal around your neck, and then to go away and back down the highway with nothing. Very, very hard thing to do. But for one team, it's tough times. It's pure elation for another. And Glenorchy thoroughly deserved their win today after what's been a pretty consistent year.
And I thought two things stood out for me. I thought it was played in great spirit and really well umpired.
Yeah, it was. Very good point. Sometimes the umpires are overlooked as some of the injured players, squad members come and we just await what you expect to be very jubilant scenes. Your 2018 Wrest Point TSLW premiers. 2-point winners. What a game, what a team. We've enjoyed bringing this broadcast to you. We'll now wrap up from what was an unbelievable Wrest Point TSLW Grand Final. We'll play you some of the highlights from the game and be back for the Bupa TSL Grand Final between North Launceston and Lauderdale. Bye for now.